poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion, delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message. I deliver it every day. And we have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. Let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call, that number comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, today is National Stress Awareness Day. A lot of folks are not stressing as much as they might have been yesterday following the election results. Whether you won or lost, whether you're happy or not happy, well, the elections are over. Now you got to live with it. National Cappuccino Day is tomorrow. After staying up all night with the election results, I can probably use one of those cappuccinos right about now. But I'm going to talk to you today about how to save some money on your mortgages, on your household budget. We'll be talking about debt management today quite a bit, but I am looking at the markets. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up 349.71 as we speak. We are looking also at the oil market, down 33 cents a barrel. Big buildup of oil. Means we weren't using nearly as much as what was being produced, the oil going into the reserves. So we'll be watching that one for you as well. Today, the national average of a gallon of gasoline, according to AAA, $2.74.5 in California, $3.74.2. Yeah, figure that one out. $241.3 is the cheapest in the land in Delaware. We did note that Measure 6 failed yesterday, so we can keep our high gas prices and continue giving Sacramento more money to waste. Unbelievable.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, well, that's what Sacramento does, is they're very, very good at wasting our money. But, hey, you know something? We continue to vote to have them continue to do it. That's the bottom line to that whole issue right there. Let's look and see what's happening in the mortgage market, what's happening in the bond market. We'll check that one for you as well. We're looking at the 10-year Treasury, 3.186. You have to look at it and say, well, okay, Ron, well, yesterday you told us that the market was anticipating a split Congress, Democrats taking the House of Representatives, the Republicans holding the Senate. Well, that's exactly what happened. We talked about if they both went to the Democrats, we would see a big crash. Why are we seeing the markets up today? Well, the basic idea here is we have removed uncertainty. Now we know exactly what to expect. We know that we've got the two parties probably won't work together. They don't get along. That's the bottom line with politics. So we probably see it. Basically, you'll hear Nancy Pelosi later today come out and say that they're going to repeal the taxes. They want to raise taxes, but she forgot the issue that, number one, there's a very slim majority for the Democrats in the House of Representatives, and they have to work with the Republicans in the Senate. They have to get the president on board. Do you think that Nancy Pelosi is going to have as much authority as she thinks she will? Now, yes, the Democrats will control the committees. We'll have the Mad Max will have her committee chairship. Unbelievable there.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, we've still got a bad feeling about it, but at least you'll have the check and balance. And that's, I think, what the people really like. I'm watching also some of the numbers because they are still rolling in. I know that a lot of people think that they're all over, but the Democrats picked up 27 seats in the House. The Senate, the Republicans picked up 3 seats there. So that was good news for them. We'll look and see what's going on in Orange County because last I saw, and I looked again this morning, there was still quite a bit of Orange County had not been finalized. They hadn't come up with their ultimate leader as to the final counts. So as of, let's see if I can find the time on here. And I'll tell you real quick, I go to Real Clear Politics is where I get a lot of this information. They're about as unbiased as you can get. There are some biases out there. Real Clear Politics does a great job of just averaging other people's work. So that's the issue right there. Let's look and see Cisneros and Kim. All of the precincts have reported. Kim is up 51.3 to Cisneros 48.7. Why they haven't called it yet, I don't know, although it probably is provisional ballots. And they still have an opportunity. Remember, they're still collecting mail-in ballots, so those have until Friday to arrive. So the mail-ins can go till Friday. Mimi Walters 51.7 to Porter 48.3. Rohrabacher looks like he's going to lose to Rauda 50.7 to 49.3. And again, it looks like Levin the Democrat is going to take Harkey out. Harkey was running to take over Darrell Isa's seat. So it looks like 3 out of those 4 are going to be held by the GOP is what my anticipation would be. Obviously, there were no Democrats, there are Republicans running for the United States Senate in California. I'm not even sure that there was a Democrat running. We had Feinstein against De Leon in California, so I'm not sure that there was even a Democrat there. You had an ultra-progressive San Franciscoite in Dianne Feinstein, and De Leon, I think, is probably, in my opinion, probably a socialist there, so we'll see what happens there. Democrats picked up 7 seats in the governor results. Looking at some of the measures, obviously we spoke a lot about this yesterday with the Anaheim now mayor-elect, Harry Sidhu. So we were talking about some of the other races. I did note Todd Spitzer looks like he's going to be winning for the district attorney office. He's up right now by about 32,000 votes. Don Barnes, a real nice guy. Sheriff Coroner, so it looks like all those precincts are in. Again, we have to wait until Friday to see what other provisionals may come in. So Harry Sidhu looks like he's up 3,000 votes right now, 36% to 29.4 for Ashley Aiken, City of Anaheim City Council member. District 2, looks like Jordan Brandman's going to take that one. He lost by about 30 votes last time. This time it looks like he's going to win by about 500 votes, give or take a little bit there. Jose Marino is going to hold his seat. Trevor O'Neill looks like he'll be the first District 6 candidate. We looked at the measures that were on the ballot. We spoke about those again yesterday with Harry Sidhu. J and K, the idea of helping public-private partnership. It is not a measure where the city is investing money in hotels. It's a public-private partnership. Measure J and K. Looks like both of those are going to end up prevailing. And the minimum wage ordinance to try and kill jobs in Anaheim, that looks like it's ahead right now by about 422 votes. So again, that one's too close right now to the provisionals that may come in or the ballots that are in the mail. See what happens on that one. 422 votes. That one was a trade-off all night last night. So that one was going back and forth the entire evening, up 500, down 500. So with every time they brought a new update, you'd see a change there. And here we're looking at ocvote.com. ocvote.com. That updates, again, there'll be another update in about 7 minutes from them. So that's a lot of the news that's been going on within the election. And again, why do I bring that up? I talked to you about that. The biggest reason that we talk about that is because it's going to affect business. It's going to affect jobs. And that is a big issue of what we're dealing with here in Southern California and all over California and our country. The jobs issue. Do you want to do things that are going to help the job market, hurt the job market? That then trickles into, is it going to help the housing industry or hurt the housing industry? I'm going to share with you in a little bit. Now, right now, we have been looking at, I've been following all day what's going on in the bond market. Bond market is looking good today. We are seeing in the Fannie Mae bond, and we'll talk about that in the next segment, but the bonds are looking good. Interest rates are dropping today, and that'll be on your traditional loans. So if you haven't got involved in that, let's talk about it, and we'll see how that might make sense for you and your family. I believe it or not, the Cannabis News Network. I was very surprised about one of the reports that I'm seeing from the Cannabis News Network.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
CNN, Cannabis News Network, Jake Tapper said the results coming in Tuesday evening on election day did not indicate the anticipated blue wave by Democrats. Quote, I have to say, when you look at what's going on here tonight, this was obviously a report last night, this is not a blue wave. This is not a wave that is knocking out all sorts of Republican incumbents. Republicans have not just sat back and let this happen. Well, obviously, there was very few people that really believed that was the way it was going to go. But you've got to look and see what Florida, they're a biggie when you're talking about presidential politics. Looks like the president had a lot of power in Florida. When you look and see, it looks like the former Governor Scott is going to win as the senator there, beating longtime incumbent Nelson. Big issue. Gillum looks like he's going to lose to DeSantis. DeSantis was not a great candidate. But Gillum, the socialist out there in Florida, looks like we might be seeing some interesting things there. And what is it going to mean with the work in China? And that's probably why we're seeing the stock market do as well as we're seeing it right now. Why do you think that's happening? Well, the issue is we've had this trade battle going on, and now with all that's happened right now within the Senate, which the Senate is the organization more important than the House of Representatives, but the Senate is what is going to deal with tariffs, right? They're going to be the ones that have to approve the NAFTA, or whatever they call the new version of NAFTA. That has to be ratified by the United States Senate, not the House of Representatives. So holding on to the Senate was very, very important for the president's agenda. Again, whether you like him or not doesn't matter. It is what it is. That's where we are right now.
It is what it is.
So we're going to chat more about that, but I want to talk to you when we come back. The big issue of the day, increasing your mortgage rate to save your household budget. How can you go from a 3.5% mortgage to a 5% mortgage and save money? Think about that concept. I will explain that one to you. Not too difficult a concept once you understand it. My job to make sure you do. Why has housing supply increased as sales have slowed down? What is the average used car loan rate? We started talking about that a couple days ago. Didn't get too much into it. And financial scams that target the elderly and how to prevent them. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1, on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission. Lending partners will give a credit at closing. The title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends over at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs, the products for you. You just need to give me a call again, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Let's chat about them. Let's see what makes sense for you. Let's see what makes sense for your family. So what is happening in the mortgage market right now? Stocks and mortgage bonds both higher so far this morning. As election results obviously are in. The Democrats again regained control of the House. Republicans retained control of the Senate. No matter what side you fall on, the market is viewing the results as positive. I shared with you a little bit ago. Let's see where we're at right this minute as to where we're looking at for the markets. But I shared this with you a little earlier, that we were just talking about what's going on in the markets. Where are we heading? Why are we heading there? The Dow Jones Industrial Average up 345 points. Oil down 67 cents a barrel. We have the Federal Reserve two-day meeting starting today. Generally, it would have started yesterday, but they did not do that because they wanted to wait and not interfere or conflict with what was going on in the election time. But the 10-year Treasury, again, we've been watching that one for you. It's 3.184 as we speak. Fed, again, kicks off their two-day meeting today. Many thought that would be yesterday, but again delayed because of the election. The Fed statement will be released tomorrow. It'll be important, but there will be no press conference to follow, thus no chance of a rate hike. We are expecting a hike in December, though. Mortgage Bankers Association reported that mortgage application volume decreased by 4% last week. Applications to purchase a home loan were down 5% and are now down only about 0.2% from this time last year, which is impressive considering some of the headwinds like higher rates and low inventory. Refinances were down 3% last week. They're now down 33% from this time last year. The refinance share of mortgage activity dropped from 39.4 to 39.1 of the total applications. Adjustable rate mortgages made up 7.8% of the applications. Again, why are they not getting more of those? Well, it's because the yield curve is so flat. There's not a big benefit to somebody going with that adjustable rate mortgage. It'll come. As interest rates continue to go up, we'll start seeing that adjustable rate will make more sense. The average 30-year mortgage increased from 5.11 to 5.15. That's about 93 basis points, almost 1 full percentage point higher from this time last year. Remember that the rate the MBA cites typically has some amount of points included. That would mean fees to buy down that interest rate. So that's generally a little bit of that is included. So what is the issue that I've been sharing with you in many, many instances about the idea of how do you increase your interest rate and still do better on your household budget? Again, remember, it's not an issue. Does it really matter what that interest rate number is? Try and go over to Vaughn's. Try and go over to Pavilions. Try and go over to Ralph's. Whatever grocery store you frequent. And ask them about buying the meal of your choice, your favorite meal. Ask them about that and tell them, yeah, I got a 3.5% interest rate. I promise you they don't care. They're going to say to you, you know something, I'm not interested in how much your interest rate is. What I'm interested in is how many dollars do you have? How much money do you have that you can spend on your meal? That's what the number that they're going to ask is going to be an issue of. And if you tell them something that you don't have any money, but you got a great interest rate, I'm going to share with you, they're not going to really care, right? It's just not going to be of any consequence to them. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm throwing into one of our tools that we use here at Ron Siegel Radio, just the concept of what if you had a $400,000 loan at 3.5%. You've got a $15,000 credit card at 15%, a $15,000 credit card at 20%, a $15,000 credit card at 30%, and you've got a $40,000 student loan at 8%. All very, very realistic numbers. Now, I'm going to share with you when you go through that. Now, a lot of times I'll look at numbers and they come out a whole lot higher than this. But the blended rate here is 5.557. That's the blended interest rate of those debts. So that 3.5 really does not matter. It's irrelevant in the scheme of things because you don't really have that number, right? I mean, think about that concept that it's not really there. So when I look at this and I say, okay, well, you've got that rate, that 3.5, and that's all well and good, but what does that mean to your family? It doesn't mean anything. Because until you actually are able to use that, until you actually go to pay the bill, where do you come out? What are you able to do with it? Well, you're not able to do anything. So now what we look at is we say, what are we doing? Where do we go with this? I've got this knowledge. What do I do with it? And knowledge is great, but if you don't know what to do with it, you're in serious trouble. So if you are able to then go and look and say, okay, Ron, I've got a real rate of 5.557 on $485,000 worth of debt. What can I do with that? Well, what if you have equity in your home? And I know most of you do. The reason I know most of you do is if you've had your home any more than 2 or 3 years, you've accumulated equity in your property. So what if you've got 20% equity in your property? Let's say 25% equity in your property. And you've got that $485,000 in debt in a loan. And you're in Southern California. You want to look at it and you say, okay, what can I do, Ron? How does this work for me? So we work the numbers backwards, right? We figure out, okay, do you have enough equity to make this work? We want looking at 75% on a say you've got a $625,000 house. Do you think that makes sense in Southern California? A 625. Let's use that number and see what happens. 625,000 at 75%. So it comes out to about 470,000. Now let's look and see what kind of payment that comes out to for you. Your payment, you're not going to have a whole lot of sticker shock in that, but we are looking at, well, we have to put in a couple other numbers. But if you've got semi-decent credit, and again, all you have to do is hold this for a year, and then you can always look at other options here. But we're going to look at just a few of the numbers and see if we're going to be able to bring that down. We're going to be able to come down in a good amount for you. We're going to be able to save you some money. And I'm looking at, what if you've got a 700 FICO score? Nothing great, nothing horrible. And we're continuing on. I just have to put one or two variables in here to make it work for you. And we're going to look at a cash out refi. We're taking out about, I don't know, what did I say, $45,000. Sorry about that. It was a long night last night with all the election goodies going on. So we're going to continue going through this process. We'll look at it for you. 700 FICO score. Let's do 720 FICO score. If you don't have a 720 FICO score, there are programs for you. But what I'm really wanting to, the reason I put that in there is because if you don't have that, you need to call me so we can get that for you and see how we can make all of these numbers work. Again, you're just looking at some serious savings when we kind of put all the numbers together. For some reason, my computer is not cooperating with me today. But we're going to be looking right around a 5.25% interest rate. You're going to probably save a half on your interest rate. Does that make sense to you? Do you understand how your blended interest rate is the only number that's really a meaningful number to you? Does that make sense? If it doesn't, give me a call at 800-306-1990. We will put all of this stuff together for you because you're probably going to be looking at about a 5.25% interest rate. Does that make sense? Let's think about that. What can you do? What can your family do with the savings there? Because that's going to save you about $200 or $300 a month. Okay, so we save $200 or $300 a month. What do you do with that money? Well, I'm not going to say spend it. I'm going to say take that exact money and put it back into your loan because you're already spending the money. I'm just trying to help you benefit your financial statement, increase your net worth. Nobody really talks about managing the balance sheet on the financial statement side. That's what we like to do here, Ron Siegel Radio. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio. Again, discussing your real estate, financials, business. We're going to talk when we come back about why has a housing supply increased as sales have slowed down. What is the average used car loan? We have got a lot to chat about with you. So you're not going to want to miss a minute of this. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter, @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender, licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel lending team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel lending team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990, the real-time real estate segment today. Being brought to you by the area-trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. Best app I have seen to tell you about what properties are coming on the market that meet your desires, that meet your goals. That would be Nest. Again, text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find that dream home before someone else does. Why has housing supply increased as sales have slowed down? That is our subject today. We look at this all the time because interest rates are going up. That we've established. Told you they've gone up almost 1 full percentage point from where they were last year. 1 full percent. Now, we told you that was going to happen. I know. We've been saying it for a while because we wanted you to get on board, understand that it was coming. But according to the latest existing home sales report from the National Association of Realtors, NAR, the inventory of homes for sale this year compared to last year has increased for the last 4 months, all while sales of existing homes have slowed compared to last year's numbers. For over 3 years leading up to this point, the exact opposite was true. Inventory dropped as sales soared. I'm telling you, get those properties on the market before this happened. And a lot of people listened, a lot didn't want to. NAR's chief economist, Lawrence Yun, shed some light on what could be contributing to this shift, and I quote, "This is the lowest existing home sales level since November 2015. A decades-high mortgage rates are preventing consumers from making quick decisions on home purchases. All the while, affordable home listings remain low, continuing to spur underperforming sales activity across the country." Let's take a deeper look. Interest rates since January 30-year fixed mortgage interest rates have increased nearly a full percentage point from 3.95 to 4.9. Now, why did I tell you a different number earlier? One is coming from the Mortgage Bankers Association, from the way they calculate their numbers and their surveys. 3.95 to 4.9 is Freddie Mac, how they calculate their numbers. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, the National Association of Realtors, and the Mortgage Bankers Association are all in agreement that rates will continue to increase to about 5.2% over the next 12 months. Again, I quote, "The rise in rates paired with this very strong price appreciation absolutely is slowing housing said Fannie Mae's chief economist Doug Duncan. Even though rates are higher than they've been in a decade, they still remain below the average for the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. They are still below those numbers averaged out. Mismatch of inventory. Elizabeth Mendenhall, president of NAR, said it best, quote, despite small month-over-month increases, the share of first-time buyers in the market continues to underwhelm because there are simply not enough listings in their price range, unquote. Prices of starter and trade-up homes have appreciated faster than their higher-priced counterparts over the last 5 years. The lowest-priced homes have appreciated by 47%, while the highest-priced homes have appreciated by only 24%. According to the Institute of Luxury Home Markets Luxury Market Report, the $1 million and up price range is now experiencing a buyer's market. This means that supply, the inventory, has finally caught up with demand and buyers are in the driver's seat when it comes to negotiations. Additionally, many listings in this price range have experienced price cuts in order to entice buyers to put in offers. Natural disasters, although not fully to blame for the national shortage in sales and inventory, natural disasters like Hurricane Florence, Hurricane Michael, and the wildfires on the West Coast have certainly had an impact. The bottom line, additional inventory coming to market could help normalize the housing market and allow incomes to catch up to home prices. For more information about sales and inventory in our area, in your area, let's get together. Let's chat about it. Let's find out what the best decision would be for your family, because it doesn't matter. No other family matters when it comes to you spending $100,000, $200,000, $500,000, whatever the number is for your family. Does not matter what's going on in another area, because all we care about is what's best for your family. So let's take a look at some of the other issues going on. We're seeing, I don't think we're going to get into the budget issue for you today. I did mention with you the concept here. I got to find this other report because we wanted to find the financial scams that are target the elderly. You know, this is one of the areas that I constantly watch for you to see where the scams are that are targeting our seniors. And I had a very interesting conversation last night with a gentleman. I was at the event for SOAR, I think it's Support Our Anaheim Resorts. And we were talking a little bit about some of these different issues, some of the scams that are going on against seniors. And a lot of people don't realize that the slime of our society consistently goes and does this. 2015 study found that older adults lose more than $36 billion every year to financial scams. Unfortunately, con artists see the elderly population as an easy and vulnerable target. The American Securities Administrators Association President Mike Rothman explained that scammers take this approach because the current elderly population is one of the wealthiest we've seen, with such hefty retirement savings. Where the money goes, the con artists follow. Unfortunately, with so many scams targeting older adults, it's essential to make yourself and your loved ones aware of the different types of cons. Here's a list of the common financial scams that specifically target the elderly and how you can prevent them. The grandparent scam. Common because it appeals to older adults' emotions. Scammers get the phone number of a senior. They call pretending to be a grandchild, making their lies seem more believable. The con artist will playfully ask the older adult to guess what grandchild is calling. Of course, the first reaction will most likely be for the senior to name a grandchild, and then the scammer can easily play along, acting like they guessed right. Now the grandparent thinks they're talking to their grandchild. The scam artist will then begin to confide in the grandparent, saying they're in a tough financial position. They need the grandparents' help, asking them to send money to a Western Union or MoneyGram. They plead for the grandparent not to tell anyone. If the grandparent complies and sends the money, the scammer will likely contact the senior again and ask for more money. Never send money to anyone unless you have 100% proof that it is who you think it is. Scammers can find out way too much information from social media and other methods. So don't think that just because they know a couple pieces of information about you and your family, that it's legit. Verify that it is actually your grandchild on the phone by texting or calling the grandchild's real phone number and verifying if it is him or her. Call the parent of the supposed grandchild and find out if the grandchild really is in trouble. Do some due diligence. Talk to your family members now and compile a list of questions only you and your family know the answers to. If a family emergency really happens, you can ask the question and know if it is your family member based on the answers. The Claim Your Prize Now sweepstakes scam. Sweepstakes scam is when con artists contact the elderly either by phone or email and tell them they have won something, whether that be a sum of money or another type of prize. To claim the prize, scammers tell them they have to pay a fee. Once the senior agrees, scammers send a fake check in the mail before the check doesn't clear and seniors can realize it's a scam. They have already paid the fee. Unbelievable. Again, folks, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. The Medicare scam, because of the Affordable Care Act that allows seniors over the age of 65 to qualify for Medicare, scam artists don't have too much research about seniors' health care providers. This makes it simple for scammers to call, email, or even visit the senior's home personally and claim to be a Medicare representative. We had Joe Palacio on earlier in the week, if you remember, and he talked, or it might have been last week. He came in and we spoke about last week. We spoke about Medicare and how you can get Medicare services and they cost you absolutely nothing. So give me a call at 800-306-1990 and I'll put you in touch with Joe. He can help you out. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about what is the average used car loan rate and Credit Karma. What's new with them? We'll chat about that as well. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter at Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area-trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com. Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRENMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 0186945 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Well, welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters. Yeah, what are you doing with your credit? Are you doing something to help yourself? Are you doing something to help your family? Have you got on to the creditsanitizer.com to find out how you can help your family? Just a quick question there, just a quick thought right there. Used car loans. That is the subject this morning that we're chatting about, used car loans. What is the average used car loan rate? Again, it's going to depend on your credit. Now, the credit FICO score is not necessarily the same as the FICO score that we see for mortgages. They use different scoring models. So when we talk about the 800 to 850, that's a different model than what we're seeing on the used car scoring. And a lot of people they're opting to lease their new set of wheels instead of purchasing them. According to a second quarter 2018 data from Experian, the number of auto loans grew to an all-time high, with leasing surpassed 30% of all new consumer vehicle sales, but the interest rates consumers are getting on these loans has stayed low, especially for used cars. In fact, Experian reported that average loan rates saw some increases, but still remain historically low. Loan rates for a new car in the second quarter of 2018 were 5.76, up from 5.2 a year ago. Franchise used rates 8.28%, down from 7.88 in the second quarter of 17, that's up from 7.88. Independently used rates are 11.87, down only 0.17 for the quarter. Experian Auto Scoring deems prime consumers as scores with a 661 to 850, non-prime users with a scores of 601 to 660, and subprime users as those with scores of 300 to 600. Consumers on all risk tiers are increasingly choosing to lease over purchasing cars, according to the report. The number of prime consumers choosing used vehicles increased from 55.61 in 2016 to 55.79 in 2018. The number of non-prime and subprime consumers also saw increases. Experian reported that the increased number of prime consumers choosing used vehicles resulted in score increases, greater percentages of used vehicles in the prime risk tier, and lower average used rates. Much smarter, with the price of cars nowadays, significantly smarter for you to go and get a used car. That's because of all the leases, and I just told you the numbers on the leases, but because of all of the leases that are out there, there are some used cars that have very, very low miles. You can get a 1 or 2 year old car, 13,000, 15,000 miles on them, 18,000 miles on them. They're like brand new, yet somebody else took the big hit. Saves you some money. And I like the idea where if they take the 30% depreciation, the amount of money, the cost of driving it off the lot, you don't have to pay that, right? You're getting the car significantly cheaper. Are you opposed to paying less money? Do you want to pay that high rate? No, and it's still a great vehicle. So be careful of what you're looking at there. Just understand the fact that you can save exorbitant amounts of money. Now, and then you go and you say, okay, well, what if I go to my credit union? What if I go to my bank? What will the dealership go into the negotiation, go into the discussion with the dealer in an educated method? If you're thinking about buying a used car and taking out a loan, that's a good idea to review your credit report before you do that. Start a couple of months in advance so you know what's on your report. If you need to get your report corrected, again, give me a call, 800-306-1990. When attempting to get a used car loan, you'll want to gather all the necessary documentation, including your driver's license, proof of all of your income, might be paycheck stubs or tax returns, utility bill or phone bill to prove your residency, your social security number, so they can run your credit check. These days, you can often apply for the used car loan right online, but be careful. Go to your banking institution, either that or the credit union, but don't go to some of these other places where they're basically just selling your data to everybody and their brother. Again, start with your banking institution. Good idea to go to that or the credit union for financing because you already have an established history and relationship with them. Typically, you'll be able to find the absolute best rates and more favorable terms if you go through your own bank. They'll also be able to advise you on all the options that are available to you as you begin the journey toward car ownership. Shop those rates. You never want to settle on the first rate you're given. Don't be afraid to shop around and see if you can find something better than the typical auto loan rates. You'll find the best auto loan rates if you have good credit. Additionally, if you apply for multiple loans within a 14-day period, it will only count as one inquiry, one hard inquiry, so that you can find that best rate possible. What is the average used car loan rate? Typically, you find that the car loan rate on a used car is going to be a bit higher than the rates you'd find with a newer car. For example, a good credit car loans can see an interest rate as low as 3.9% for a newer model and a little more than 5% for its older version. The following average rates you may find for used car loans that carry 60-month repayment terms based on a range of different FICO scores with a credit score between 500 and 589. You may be looking at interest rates on the loan as high as, are you ready for this one? I don't know if I want to give this to you. 16%. Ow! Yeah, bad credit scores also make it a lot harder to get approved for the car loan initially as well. A score between 590 and 619, probably in the 15% mark. Percentages get lower from here with the lowest coming in at about 4.39 with credit between 720 and 850. A longer loan term usually mean you'll have a lower monthly payment, will also accrue more interest over time. And when determining the average used car loan rate and the amount of interest you may have to pay on a loan, you want to check all three of your credit reports and make sure your numbers are good. And again, just give me a call at 800-306-1990. We can help you with that. That is the Your Credit Matters segment. Again, brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. There is a new Credit Karma program out there. If you're applying for a new line of credit, there's always been a double-edged sword. On the one hand, consumers stand the chance to gain more borrowing power, but on the other hand, their credit score can be negatively impacted. A new program from Credit Karma may offer an appealing middle ground. Known as a site that offers consumers free credit reports and scores, Credit Karma's bottom line depends in part on its partnership with credit card companies. A new program called Marketplace allows Credit Karma users to know whether they're pre-approved for a credit card or loan without dinging their credit. Credit Karma Marketplace shows members the credit cards and loans they're pre-approved for, helps them compare options, and makes it easier to apply without impacting your credit. According to Credit Karma spokeswoman Emily Donahue, the program went live this past couple of weeks. Marketplace is a logical progressive for Credit Karma, which has long shown its users their approval odds for credit cards based on the individual's data. Now with loans and other products added into the mix, this has the potential to be a game changer for consumers who are gun-shy about applying for credit cards because they don't want their credit scores to go down. Marketplace allows Credit Karma, 80 million members strong, to flex its muscle in the credit pre-approval realm without the involvement of the credit bureaus. So that is a new service coming out from Credit Karma. you might check it out. Again, remember, the scores you get from Credit Karma are not true FICO scores. They are not. They are FACO scores. But if you can get the credit card without having to go through all the other hoops, does it really matter to you? And I would suggest probably not. But when you are looking for a real FICO, you want to go to myfico.com and get that information. And you also want to set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John, who's engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.